Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, Derek got a fun and exciting video for you guys today, and that's because there is a new version of Super Mario 3D All-Stars Deluxe out, going by the name of Super Mario 3D All-Stars Super Deluxe. It's a mouthful to say, I got it wrong twice, but we are here today to talk about all the fun 3D Mario games you can play in emulation, and how the community absolutely makes these things shine. Because about 6 months ago, I did a video on 3D Deluxe, where it had all of the different games that Nintendo included in the 3D All-Stars release, except via emulation with a lot better visual performance than you actually got on the Switch version of the game, including higher frame rates. So now we have a new version, 3D All-Stars Super Deluxe, that brings in even more 3D Mario games, basically being the encyclopedic version of whatever Mario's ever done in 3D. And this is by a developer, Lee026, who did an excellent job not only making this, but documenting it and even doing a tutorial video showing you guys exactly how to use it. So we're going to be going over every single thing it does today, because it includes a lot extra. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But right off the top, Super Deluxe here is going to include Super Mario 64 DS, Super Mario Eclipse, 3D World and Bowser's Fury, as well as Super Mario Odyssey, bringing in not only DS emulation, but also a newer, more fun version of Super Mario Sunshine, as well as Eden emulation for the Switch games that you didn't get to play on 3D Deluxe. And that is absolutely amazing, because just recently I did a video saying Switch emulation has never been better, and honestly, it's the de facto way I choose to play these games. Because honestly, the fan dev community and the emulation community keep outdoing Nintendo at every turn when it comes to playing Nintendo's actual games. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to knock Nintendo here, I'm just saying that sometimes the fans can do things that even Nintendo can't. So taking a look here, I will leave a link to the GitHub below. This is just the setup package. You're going to have to bring your own legally owned games. It just includes a lot more and becomes, like I said, just the encyclopedic version of everything 3D Mario that you would want to play. And this is a mod for Super Mario 3D All-Stars Deluxe, which maybe you've taken a look at. So if you played around with that and enjoyed it, this is just going to be more of a good thing, because everything that was in 3D Deluxe is going to be here. And then you get 4 more games on top of that. That's absolutely going to be a metric crap ton of fun in my opinion. And if you've never played Super Mario Eclipse before, I can't stress enough the fact that this game even exists and it's as big as it is a testament to just what ROM hackers out there can absolutely do with a game. It basically creates an entire sequel to Super Mario Sunshine while also including the base Sunshine in the game, giving you all these new worlds. This is something that I played from start to finish and 100%ed in my spare time, and I think it really is one of the best 3D Mario games ever made, and we're talking about stuff that even Nintendo did. It does so many fun and interesting things with Flood, making all of these movement tech challenges. If you like Super Mario Sunshine and the actual Flood overall gameplay aesthetic, you're going to love this one. If you weren't a fan of Flood, I don't think there's going to be anything here that convinces you want to play Sunshine, because it makes Flood not harder but more challenging, but in all of the best ways. Because trust me, some of the timings on these jumps absolutely near to frame perfect in all of the most fun ways. Once you actually learn and understand how everything works, it absolutely just becomes one of the most fun and challenging games that you can play in the 3D Mario universe, and I absolutely am there for it. I don't really want to spoil a lot about what Eclipse does, but just trust me, play the game, you'll notice it's slightly different off the top, but then you'll be in the normal Sunshine universe, but you might see a hole in a wall or a door that you've never seen before, and you go into it and suddenly you realize there's this entire metagame underneath Sunshine that you've never seen before, and trust me, it is every bit as good as anything Nintendo's ever made. So you'll see here there is a list of all the files you're going to need for this, and that really is nice that they actually include all of this information. And again, there is going to be a video link to a full tutorial setup guide by the developer. I will also link that in the description below, so pop over there if you need any help, but trust me, it really isn't all that hard to actually get this set up, and because the developer did a very comprehensive tutorial that I checked just to see if it worked for me, I definitely recommend it to you guys, and I'm not going to make one myself. And don't forget, when you go over there, to hit a like and subscribe for the dev on this one too, because they've done absolutely incredible work, and I love to see stuff like this. And again, in emulation, all of these games, just in my opinion, play better than real hardware. Something like Super Mario 3D Land here, absolutely incredible on a 3DS with the 3D effect, but if you don't want that, you can absolutely go over to emulation. And of course, it's going to give you options to play the PC ports of stuff like Super Mario 64 as well, and those are also a vibe. And that really is the reality of something like this. There's so many different versions of so many different Mario games that you can play today, and something like 3D All-Stars Super Deluxe is going to give you all sorts of different opportunities to play each and every one of them. And again, if you haven't played Super Mario 64, if you haven't played Sunshine or any of these games, for the most part, emulation just makes them run better, look better, and feel more modern. And it's something I like to say on the channel. This is why retro gaming is making a comeback, especially with younger generations and audiences. They might not want to play Super Mario 64 on an N64, but they might love Mario and play the most recent Switch games, so giving them something like the PC port of 64 might get them more interested into it. Let's go to the first and only soundtrack sample of the video. We're just doing one today, and I'll come back talk about more of the games that run here and why you definitely need to check this package out. I mean, Odyssey has always had an incredible soundtrack, and it sounds no different coming out of the Eden emulator, which is what I recommend and what the developer recommends if you're going to use this actual emulation package. Because obviously getting Eclipse, getting Odyssey, as well as 3D World and Bowser's Fury included here, is just the best of what the modern Mario overall universe can offer. Because we really haven't heard or seen anything about a new 3D Mario game for the Switch 2, so right now something like Odyssey is still the last mainline entry in the franchise. And while I'm sure Nintendo is working on a new 3D Mario game for Switch 2, we don't really know anything about it quite yet, so we're just going to have to wait and see. And don't forget, modifications are also going to support texture packs, so you'll see here using a 4K texture in something like Super Deluxe absolutely just shines. But the real big benefit here, if you have a powerful enough PC, is getting stuff like the Switch games to run at a higher resolution and a better frame rate. Because don't get me wrong, I love the Switch and Switch 2. I own these games, and I will say they can definitely chug every once in a while. And playing them on my 65-inch OLED TV with 4K internal rendering resolution off Eden just absolutely makes them look better, and I can get Lock 60 performance out of basically any single game. Now as a baseline, I use an i9-12900K, an overclock of 5.4 GHz with a 3080 Ti and 64 GB of RAM. So if you have a potato, you're probably going to get potato performance on the actual Switch emulation, but everything else should basically run pretty well. And you'll see here there's just a couple known issues. One is that some of the emulators for Switch will not boot directly into the game, and that's why I recommend Eden, as the developer does here as well. And something like Super Mario 64 DS isn't going to launch full screen. You just have to give it a little bit of an Alt and Enter key command so you can actually get into full screen, but that really is maybe one of the most minor things. And by default, this will also scale the resolution to 4x4U in Super 3D Deluxe, but you can definitely bump it up from there. Because that is the nice thing about a package like this. It gets the games running, it gets them running for basically a configuration that almost anyone would have, and then from there, if you want to play around with the settings, you absolutely can. And that really is a big benefit of all of this, because something like 3D Land here, I just think looks that much more stunning when you actually have close to a 4K or even beyond internal rendering resolution, making a 3DS game look more like a modern Switch game, maybe not Switch 2, but getting very close to it. You leave me a comment down below and you tell me, 3DS games, emulation, or do you want the original 3D vibe with that screen? And honestly, it's concepts like this, packaging all of the different emulation and all of the different settings together into one actual executable where you can just play whatever game you want. That is a very fun project. When 3D Deluxe came out, I said I absolutely want to see more of this happen, and honestly, outside of Super 3D Deluxe now, I really haven't seen many other developers actually take on this challenge, because it's one of those things. Sometimes people just want to sit down and have a very pretty front end to play a series of games, and obviously Mario is a great candidate for something like that. So Super 3D Deluxe, absolutely 10 out of 10 stuff. I've loved the community, just so dedicated to making it easier for you to have fun. And if you know me and you know the channel, that's definitely something I always advocate for here. The only thing I ever care about is people continue to play these games for all time. Whether you want to play them on emulation or real hardware does not matter to me in the least, but something like Super 3D Deluxe absolutely just fits the bill for that ease of use, kind of sit down and play at your TV aesthetic. Grab a controller, set up all of the games, add them into the right folders, and suddenly you'll be playing every single 3D Mario game ever made, and in a lot better format than they were originally released. If you check this one out, leave me a comment down below and you tell me if you like these packages. As far as emulation are concerned, I would be curious. But short of that, we're done. Link is in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.